It's cosmic, really, because well, I've taught in this room for many years, since, well, I guess 2006, when I developed, along with Nancy Wright, the collage and mixed media class, and another class that we call Discovering Your Creativity. So I'm attached to this space and my wonderful closet that's back in the hallway that I call the end of Fleisher. That's it. Can't go any further than that. But up here we're in the penthouse. But also I have a very vivid memory of myself at 16 years old coming up those last set of steps into this room for croquis class at night with the nude model, and with my best girlfriend, and we had to wait outside the door for a minute to control our giggles and nervousness, but we did it. At that time, the main entrance was the one you walk past to come into the new entrance where the elevator is, and you could register at any time, and a semester would begin, and Mr. Hirschman himself would be sitting there in that vestibule, signing your card, and and off you went. I feel like there should be a third element for him somehow, somewhere, an earring, a barrette, an eyeball. Oh gosh, it was so different. The models would break, I think it was only 2-hour sessions. Now they're 3 hours. So midway, the models would break and go down to the office, and you could drift down there if you wanted, and everybody'd be in there smoking. My God, that's how long ago it was. So it was kind of a scene, you know, it was cool. It was,
I can feel the various layers of all of the Fleisher activity around me, even just sitting in this one studio, which is on the top floor, the 4th floor of what we think of as the school, but which is also an old orphanage, it turns out. And I know that, you know, to my right are a bunch of classes filled with people painting and drawing. I know that below me is a teen lounge where teenagers come as a drop-in program and sort of have a safe sanctuary space to do their work. I know that below that are galleries exhibiting the work of living artists, and attracting audiences to come and see what's, you know, hot in the contemporary art market. And I know that sort of behind me is a children's garden filled with mosaics that have been made by kids and sponsored by an artist who came here for decades, Bootsy Weiss, to have her own creative experience and then made sure to give back and leave a legacy space for other people who liked mosaics.
She envisioned that being a space for children to work outdoors. The gate was commissioned and built. It was cleaned up. It looked really pretty sharp.
It's my mom, you know, it's her legacy, you know, just she had that vision for it and it came to life, and that's so meaningful to myself and to my siblings and to my father. And we want to do everything that we can to keep that legacy alive and celebrate her life as this, you know, in my mind, this creative, you know, she was her own piece of art and her own work of art.
years ago, Gerard contacted me because we've been hearing about each other through mutual friends and community partners. And when Gerard approached me and say, I've heard about you and I would love for you to come to Fleisher and maybe collaborate or partner with us. Fleisher was super supportive and asking us like, what can we support you at this time? So we started with a free traditional Indonesian dance class here at Fleisher for anybody. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think this collaboration with Fleisher is giving us the space to actually be ourselves. And we talk about cultural preservation, and in my specific ethnic group in Indonesia, cultural preservation is not written. It's something that you pass down to the younger generation through teaching, talking. It's not like a book or anything. So Modero is very focused in giving this cultural knowledge to our younger generation. We have this thing in Indonesia called tak kenal maka tak sayang, which simply means to know is to love. I talk about this all the time because it's so true, because you come and learn about us, maybe we'll learn about you too. When we get to know each other, we may fall in love with each other. We may get, we learn something that maybe we find these similarities. So then we can feel comfortable and then just be ourselves in the space.
I think a lot of people are like, I'm not creative, and they're kind of intimidated by taking a class. So we were like, if this is a lower barrier of entry, it's a couple hours, doodle on a piece of pottery, and then you get to keep this thing, and then it's an object that you'll always tie to Fleisher, tie to this moment, tie to this experience. It just felt like it could be really fun, and we've just gotten such amazing feedback from, I think we've done it 3 times now, and the amount of people that walked in and immediately said like, I'm not gonna be good at this. I don't know how to paint. I don't know how to draw. And theirs was like the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I'm like, you're lying. Like, you're so good at this. And I think it's just like allowing people the space to just create freely. We're just like, here's a canvas for you to create something on. It's such a special event. It's probably my recent most favorite Fleisher memory is being a part of Glaze Works and just seeing people's faces light up, and then them sharing their finished works after with us online or when they come to pick them up. It's a really special little event. It's been awesome.
What's up, family? We back again, and I'm gonna be showing you how to do a cat with just these oil pastels. Watch this. First, we're gonna start off with the outline. I know y'all probably like, what is this? But just follow along, y'all. Gonna do a little fur. Yeah. Some leaves. But last but not least, y'all know this cat needs some special sauce. Boom. There we go. Little kid.
When I saw that there was a children's book illustration class, I couldn't sleep that night. I was like, this is what I've wanted to do for so long. I had a bad experience like 30-some years before that, and I failed miserably. But it was really important, and I really got so excited. And I went online, and I signed up for the class.
I think that one thing that I've been able to cultivate in the class is a certain connection where everyone feels comfortable to look across at their neighbor, the person next to them, and share what it is that they're doing. There's no feeling of fear of like, oh, I can't do this, or I don't like what I'm working on, or I can't share this. It's almost like, let's open the space up in the beginning.
Shortly after I signed up for the class, I never expected it. It never happened before, but Andre, the instructor, sent me an email asking me all these questions about why I wanted to do this, and who was my favorite children's book illustrator, and It was just, I thought, it just felt so right. But I'm not a real confident person, and I did go into the class with some trepidation.
There's a wide, vast age range of folks in the class with different experiences. We have folks getting ready to retire versus folks who have just got into their practice versus folks who have just graduated college. So with that, it's like, how do you bring all of those folks together? And like I said, I think it's by way of just understanding that we are all humans and we're all experiencing this together, and we're all here to learn and we're all here to create. So when we take off those other layers that, you know, society places on us, just in general, and just come here with the thought or with the focus of just, you know, putting our best foot forward as far as creativity goes, then I think we come up with the best outcomes.
Andre just made me feel so comfortable, and I just absolutely devoted everything to it. And I have to be honest, I'm an overachiever at times.
She wouldn't just do the assignment I asked for. She would do the assignment I asked for and then 10 more assignments. Like, she would come in with one illustration and then she would come in with 30 illustrations and be like, this is what I have here. Like, if there was anyone who literally wanted to see their book come to fruition, it was Bernadette.
I really, really threw my heart into this class, and the outcome really made my heart smile. Is the story of a little sunflower seed that wants to become a beautiful flower, like his mother.
Over time, just seeing that doubt turn into the actual pages of the book that she went on to illustrate, and then actually receiving the award at Fleisher for the #1, you know, winning first place in the illustration category for Fleisher, and just seeing how excited that made her overall. It was just a beautiful experience to see, and I think that over time, me and Bernadette has definitely grown a rapport where she's definitely started like to support me outside of Fleisher, coming to like my mural reveals and coming to my open studios and things like that. And she's actually working outside of all of this to continue her book because she wants to see it come to life so much. So I'm just extremely happy to be a part of the process, because like to see her book finally come to life when it hits like store shelves is going to be such a marvelous event that I might cry. I think I'll cry. I will cry.
My name is Jack DeRoche. I'm 16. I don't know what else there is to say. Right now I'm the Teen Lounge representative, which is pretty cool. At Teen Lounge, we get to decide who comes in, which not a lot of after-school programs have that. And so we literally have like 12 to 20 like artists come in and like give a presentation basically of what their art is gonna, or what their class is going to teach. And it's really interesting that these people come in and their fate is held in the hands of like 15 teenagers. And I can't imagine how scary that is. And I think it's so interesting that like so many people want to come and teach us these really cool things, that they just want to show their art and the way they work through art. So we had a caricature class, and that was really fun. I wasn't that great at it, but it was okay. But I really liked the teacher, and she was really cool. And next we'll have a painting outside class with a returning teacher who I really like. And then we'll have a mosaic class, and we're gonna like be doing mosaics and like filling in cracks in the sidewalk and stuff, which I think is an interesting concept, and I'm excited to see how that goes.
So I use a very fine gauge of cotton thread and a very tiny crochet hook that I inherited from my grandmother to create objects. I started out making primarily osteological skeletal animal specimens. For artists who work in Philadelphia, the Wind Challenge it's a thing that is on everyone's radar. Like, I think no matter what college you graduate from in Philadelphia, even if you didn't necessarily go to art school, if you have a practice in or close to Philadelphia, you're aware of the Wind Challenge, and it is so time-honored. It's been going on for such a long time. Like, it never loses relevance. It can be about, like, the work can be about so many different things. It's totally inclusive. It's a heavily integrated exhibition into the community. Everybody goes to it. A lot of different arts communities convene in this space to, support one another and, become exposed to, varieties of artwork that they wouldn't necessarily have been aware of. And I think for that reason, it feels just very much like this thing that a lot of people strive to do.
So one evening, Dina came back from one of the board meetings and very upset that the board was considering closing the Fleisher Challenge. So we discussed it a little bit and we said, okay, why don't we try to explore, sponsoring it. So long story short, Dina then discussed it with Thor at the time and then the board, and we agreed to sponsor it. That's the story. The major influence of Fleisher in our life has been the discussions, I think, with artists, especially during the Wind Challenge exhibitions, when you have more an opportunity not only to hear the artists, but interact with them. So I think the discussion with the artists was really, eye-openers. So I would describe this as it's really an interesting place for meeting, engaging, interacting with artists, come from different perspectives of art that you may not like, you may never want to buy, but at least understand, their perspective and why they're doing it and what they're doing and their passion.
In 2013, my parents got the Founders Award at Fleisher, and I was asked to be on the committee helping to organize that event. That was one of my first, really, really intimate engagements with Fleisher and the Fleisher team and, community leaders and friends of my parents. And it was a great experience. I was proud of them. I was excited to be involved. And what I remember so clearly is the beauty of that sanctuary. The timing was very emotional because Dina was already dealing with cancer, and so we all knew that, and didn't know what the future held. So I have just a freeze frame of that moment, an image of my parents in the sanctuary, everybody acknowledging them and their commitment to making the world a better place through art, and I'll never forget that.
Gerard, can you hold us? Have you really had a fight with her yet? Not yet? Bring it down a little bit. Down. Down a little. Okay.
I am Bob Reinhardt, and I am a teaching artist here at Fleisher. I've been here 26 years. I've taught a variety of classes, notably the Saturday program, which would include the 5-year-olds all the way up to the seniors in high school. I also teach in the adult division. I taught basic drawing, night classes in drawing, intro to watercolor, and experimental watercolor. I started doing watercolors about 12, 13 years ago because I was looking to challenge myself with material that I wasn't familiar with because I was sort of in a rut. And I did that for a number of years until I got to a point where I felt comfortable with it and I was making out of my studio practice. And it just evolved into all these other things. I started experimenting, and then I did the intro watercolor class here, and I really liked that. But I was doing so much at home in my studio with this experiment, so I thought, let's bring that into a separate class. And we did for one 5-week session, and it was a hit. And now it's my favorite class. I have these great students, the age ranges, all over the place. And we're doing all this great stuff, with all these different materials and different kinds of paints, things they never thought that would be included in a watercolor class. Fleisher always afforded me an open platform. Never had anyone hanging over my shoulder with a set curriculum. As a faculty, I feel acknowledged here. I feel supported. And all of that positive energy just goes right back to the kids. Right in through here. And you're going to need to put a little bit of value here. This is here.
And then there's that thing too.
Yeah. Okay, so this is coming out like this. All right, and it's actually the fin comes out.
So I started here at Fleisher when I was 3, and ever since then I remember my first class with Miss Joy, and then every Saturday during the winter sessions, the fall sessions, and the spring sessions, I've been here at Fleisher. I've taken almost all of the classes or courses offered here. I remember being in the 4th floor front with Mr. Manny in 3rd grade, and I remember being with Mr. PT and Miss Robin in the basement. And recently I've been with Bob Reinhardt in independent study for the past 2 years. I've done everything from wheel throwing to darkroom photography to fiber arts and freehand sculpture and printmaking and everything.
Fleisher has been great for me because it's consistent. It's a consistent thing. It's every Saturday I get to come here and relax and just do art for however long. Just the class, I just get to relax and just do my own thing. And it's a great break from grinding all week.
I don't know if it's the building, which is irreplaceable, impossible to recreate. If it was Fleischer's vision, if it's the sanctuary there, the whole history of this place, and add to that there's just a feeling here of welcome. It's the perfect place to try, to continue, to, as I like to say, the spiral. You get higher and higher. You may be in the same classroom with the same teacher, but it's you yourself are going higher and higher in your journey. It fits you wherever you are.